gentlemen, welcome to tonight's main event.
Where's the Friday?
My calculations are correct. When this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're gonna see some serious...
On this blessed Friday, let us give thanks.
So, another Friday is upon us.
G'day, welcome to WTF, Where's the Friday? I'm Rob Birdsey. I have a very, very special day today. We've got a few things going on. Starting off, I have Cassie Easley coming in here. She's sitting down with me right now, and it's going to be the U.S. Congressional District candidate, which is a mouthful, but we'll get into that in a sec. So you can catch us on YouTube. It's at Widowed Trio and Freedom. Okay, so that's the title of the channel. The channel is Widowed. I'm a widowed father. Trio. I have two little boys, and freedom is what we're working for. So go check that out. That'll be awesome. And yeah, Cassie, welcome.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, just ease a bit closer to the microphone
better?
there. Yeah, I'll turn you up here and we'll get you going.
Okay.
How's your day?
It's going pretty good so far.
Yeah, it's a big day, right?
It is. It's
guys...
amazing. We have a lot of stuff going on today.
Yeah. Tell me a little bit about, I don't know too much about politics. I try to steer clear from it, to be honest with you. It's not my jam. However, it's definitely piquing my interest because everything keeps going up and up and up. And I'm not liking it. And I know there's a lot of people out there that are hurting because of it. I don't know if that's anything to do with your party, but yeah, educate me on who you're running with and how it works.
I'm with the Constitution Party, which is what I call the constitutional alternative to the other two parties. We have previously been called a third party, but I think that makes us seem less than an actual party. So I'm trying to get it out there that there are other alternative parties to the two big parties, and people should really start looking at them because we are more in line with where people are at versus the big parties, which are into the big politics. The alternative parties, we tend to be more for the people.
All right. Yeah, I believe that. I mean, there was a point of time where they sort of acted like they were for us, but I don't believe that anymore.
I agree.
Yeah. So within that, what is it about you that you're bringing to this party that you want to get it out there?
I'm a firm believer in the Constitution. I think the framers, when they created the Constitution, they worked really hard to form a government that the people were in charge. And I think we've forgotten that. I think we've forgotten that the federal government itself is not the one that's in charge of us. We are in charge of them. And they act like they're in charge because we let them. Yeah. And we need to stand up and say, no more. We need things to be the way they're supposed to be and not... We don't want them to tax us the way they tax us, go into debt the way they have to cause the inflation, because everything they do, the bill is on our back. It's not on theirs. They're just making all of these laws that we have to follow, and it's not supposed to be that way. And believing in the Constitution, and if you read it, you can see that they are so outside the boundaries of what they are supposed to be doing. They've been delegated certain powers. Yep. And they go beyond those powers and say they're doing it for us, and it essentially is taking away all of our liberty to be able to live free like the Constitution allows us to do.
Wow. That's a lot. That's such a mountain. Yeah.
It's a mountain to climb, but people, when people get together and have a cause for freedom, things can move, and they have to have an opportunity to have someone to get behind so that we can move that mountain, so that we can have that freedom back. Yeah. And that's what I'm doing. I'm standing up.
I like that. And you it's like you're not so young, but you bring a lot of knowledge to that, and I think that's smart in your own right. Like, that's really cool.
Well, thank you.
So a proper role of Congress.
The proper role of Congress is defined in the Constitution, is found in Article 1, Section 8. And it has a list of 18 things that Congress is allowed to do. Anything outside of that has not been delegated to them to do. So when you go outside of that, you are outside of your scope of practice. I kind of like to relate that to, like, say, nursing. So a nurse is allowed to do certain things. Somebody comes into the ER, a person's having heart pains, and their heart stops beating. So instead of waiting for the doctor, the nurse decides to cut open his chest and start heart surgery.
Wow.
Now, that's way outside her scope of practice. And in other fields, we look at that and say, oh, that person, she needs to be fired. She can't do that. In politics, we say, oh, well, they said it's for us, so it's okay. So if you work outside your scope, what you're delegated to do, you're essentially taking away from people that say, you can do this for me, but I'm going to do more for you because it's good for you. And in most cases, it's not good for me.
No.
Most people disagree with a lot of things that are going on.
Yeah.
So if they stay within their delegated powers, the people get more freedom back. And that's what, as a person myself, that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for more freedom. I want, inflation is horrible for everybody. And by them continually spending and spending and spending and saying, oh, the people will pay for it. It's okay. We can do this. We need to put a stop to that.
Yes.
So that's kind of what Article 1, Section 8 talks about, what we're allowed to do. That is our proper role. Anything outside of that, we should not be doing.
I like it. It's kind of a stay in your own lane type situation.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, it's what they've been appointed for. So why are they doing anything else? Doesn't make any sense. And then with the divisions of the parties, how would you like to?
Right now, the country is divided into two parties. So we have the Democratic and the Republican Party that are constantly fighting against each other.
Yep.
They are constantly fighting, and it's making the people in the country divided. As a constitutionist, if I stand on the Constitution and do what I'm supposed to do, and people fall in line behind that and want that from other representatives, it will stop the division and we can work together as a country. Because right now, we're a house divided and it's not going to stand. So we need to bring it together, and we can do it if we all focus on what's the right job, stay within the Constitution, and a congressional a congressman, not a candidate, I was going to say candidate, but a congressman, they only have two jobs. Their first job is to stay within their boundaries of the Constitution, to know the Constitution, because you take an oath to protect that. And if it is within those boundaries, then you ask the people of your district, how do you feel about this? So the people have a say in what laws are being made that they're going to be affected by. So as long as you stay within the Constitution, if they have a bill that comes up, it's not anywhere within our duties, it's an automatic no. If it's something that I could vote yes on, if the people in my district want it, I'll vote for it. If they don't want it, I'll vote against it. It's that simple. That's all Congress has to do. It is not what Congress is doing.
Right.
Very simple job, actually.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, this is a lot. I have so many questions, and I like this.
Go
I
ahead.
sincerely enjoy this. I think that how do you approach voters, and how do you plan to sway them? Like, what's your biggest leverage tool that you have for that?
The Constitution.
Yep.
I just talk to people, and I don't care what party anyone's in. Everybody is a citizen that's voting, and the Constitution applies to them.
Yeah.
They are the people. They are the ones that are responsible for who's in their government. I do get a question a lot of time about term limits, and I think that because people don't read the Constitution, a congressman in the House of Representatives is elected for 2 years. We're the closest to the people, so the people have the opportunity. If you don't like what they're doing, fire them, vote them out, and vote someone else in that's more to what you want. And people don't seem to remember that that's their voice.
Yeah.
We've got 3 kinds of voters. We've got the ones that don't vote because they just don't think that it's necessary, which it is very important to vote. You've got the second kind of voters that vote because they're in a certain party. It's like, oh, I'm in this party, so I have to vote for that person that my party says that we have to vote for because we've got to keep our party in control.
Ouch.
And then you have the third kind of voters, which are the educated voters. They look at everybody that's on the ballot, and then they can say, you know what? The party says they're going to do this, but they're not.
Yeah.
But this person, maybe we should give that person an opportunity to do what they say they're going to do. And in 2 years, if we don't like it, we can vote for somebody else.
Yeah.
And that's the whole thing. Those are the term limits. The people set them. And most people think that it's the government's job. Less legislation is actually better for the people than adding more and more legislation so that people can try and get things right. The people know how to do things right.
Yeah.
But when you get more legislation, it starts muddying the waters
Definitely.
everywhere.
Yeah.
So less legislation is better. So I talk to people and I hear what they have to say, and I put constitutional context into things that they talk about. It's like, well, that's more of a state issue. That's something you need to be fighting at the state. Don't be fighting at the federal government because you have more control where you're at.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Great. I have. I like that. I do like that, and I do think it just seems like everybody in office, or it's like they have a loophole and they build this whole, they go in there with nothing and they come out with everything, and it doesn't make any sense to me. I don't understand it too well, but I suppose that's my opinion. Is why are they in there for so long? It doesn't make any sense.
Because nobody's voting them out. They're keeping them in there, and that because of the party politics.
Man, in Australia, we have to vote. Like that's where I'm from, and we, I'm a citizen now. I love America and I always be here. I think this is my home, but I just find that interesting that over here you don't really have to, and most people, they don't want to be educated, which is kind of sad in so many ways, because if we really did had a good chance of voting, maybe we might get what we want.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. The more people that vote for what they want, the more they'll be able to get it.
Exactly. So just one last question, and it could be anything in life. What makes the difference?
I think family makes a big difference in everything that you do, because you need to have that foundation and that core to be able to go forward and do the things that you need to do in life.
Yeah, I agree. I got 2 little boys. I lost my wife in 2020 to breast cancer, and I'd be lost without those 2 little boys. I'm so thankful for them to be in my life.
I'm sorry to hear that. I lost my husband in 2022 to colon cancer.
Oh wow.
So
there we
yeah,
go.
so
we have another story to tell.
don't we? So,
Maybe I'll have you come back in another time. We can sit down and have a decent chat about just life in general.
Sure, that would be great. I'd love to.
Thanks, Cassie. I appreciate you coming in.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Have a wonderful day.
Good luck with today. This
Thank you.
afternoon, you guys going to be in there this afternoon from, was it 4 or 5?
5 to 7 we'll be at the Levitt Center, and I'll be tabling from 12 to 1.
There you go. So if you're around campus, check it out. Good luck.
Thank you.
And I wish you well with your endeavors.
Thank you.
See you, Cassie.